Good morning everybody. It's been a long time since you've heard this voice. Friday the 10th of April. My first laning trip of 2026. Oh dear, it's been ages. I've had a few technical problems to say the least. But anyway, more about that later. To concentrate on where I'm going. Okay. So today, 10th of April, the Jimny boys. There might be a couple of tokens because their Jimneys aren't very well either. We're meeting at Hawes in North Yorkshire for a second half of the coast to coast, starting at Hawes, ending at Aylesby, a rather very tight and scratchy lane where I imagine the token boys, and they are need to clear my throat for this, Land Rovers might be with us if their Jimneys aren't working very well. So 122 miles according to the route GPX. So my technical problems has been let me think. On our last trip, I think it was November in Garrigill, I had a bit of a rear axle problem, making a rather bad noise. It turned out to be because of my rear floating axle, turned out to be my near side rear shaft cover was smashed, and that was causing a bit of a hiccup. Maybe at the same time that caused a problem with my transfer box to implode inside. When I sent it down to Keith for looking at it, he said just chuck it away, Brett. And then I quickly worked out in my head, you know what, I've had that transfer box for maybe 20 years. That's 20 years of green laning. It's been in some precarious positions, so the transfer box was replaced by a reconditioned one from Jimny Bits. So although that old busted transfer box was 6.5 to 1, my new transfer box is 6.35 to 1, so about the same. So that took a few months to get built and shipped and fitted and all gibbons like that. And at the same time, they say things come in threes, my rear Kaiser broke. It had been playing up for a while. The offside wheel was grabbing and the near side wheel was not. So took that out, had a look at it in the diff. It seemed okay, but further deeper diagnosis into the diff, the Kaiser was shagged too. So didn't have a transfer box and I didn't have a rear diff. So conversation with Kaiser, they're in Brazil, so I decided to bite the bullet and buy myself an ARB locker for the rear. Also from Jimny Bits, from my good friend James Priestley. So he bought the ARB locker from Jimny Bits at discounted rates, and then I told him what ARB compressor I needed, so he got me one of those as well. Went over to Todmorden to pick those up early on in the year, and then my good friend Ricky Gifford, who lives about half an hour away from me up in Cumbria, came over and helped me fit both the ARB in the rear diff. No, sorry, James fitted the ARB in the rear diff. So Ricky helped me fit the compressor, wire that up to the car, connect connect it to the rear diff, and whammo, I've got a transfer box and a rear diff and two snazzy buttons in my cab. One to make the compressor work, put air into the diff, and the other one to enable the diff. So I've tested it in some local lanes and my low box is working and my rear diff is working. So been some complications at home that forced me to delay laning for a bit. So today we've got Kevin, Ian, Phil, and I seem to remember Phil was saying one of his mates wanted to come as well. So there's me and Billy no mates. Right, Billy? Alright, Brett. Meeting at Hawes. So we normally find a place for breakfast, and guess what? There are no cafes open on a Friday in Hawes. How crazy is that? So we're going to have to find some breakfast en route, wherever that might be, but as in the past we always bring lots of food, lots of drinks, just in case things go tits up. So that's me jabbering on for 6 minutes, so I'll leave you in peace and I'll see you later on the intro from Hawes. Cheers.